Hi team. Today we're going to be talking about OCR, which is technology to scan invoicing or other digital products. Manual invoice keying wastes hours of time and introduces errors in business. So today I'll show you the outcome of my Microsoft-based OCR flow. So what's it for, and what it isn't, and how it fits into approvals, dashboards, and your ERP, your accounting system. The goal is structured, trustworthy, invoice data without typing. So we land PDFs in our SharePoint, extract the vendor, invoice number, dates, totals into a list, and we link this back to the file. That list becomes the engine for approvals, dashboards, and posting. Think of this in 5 stages. Firstly, you capture the information. This can be via an email, Dropbox to SharePoint. Secondly, the OCR, Azure Document Intelligence, turns PDFs into fields. Thirdly, validation. Blocks duplicates, missing fields, low confidence. Fourth, approvals. Simple rules by amount and supplier. Number 5, handing off to your accounting system or ERP. This can start with a CSV and later can turn into an API. This will always keep an audit trail. Thinking of this in a bit like the 80-20 Pareto principle, we need to think about what creates value fast. So 80% of the benefit comes from the first 3 stages, which is capturing information, using the OCR software, and then validation. You can cut data entry by around 80% just from these 3 steps. Cycle time drops to a few minutes, duplicates are blocked, and you now have clean data that you can use for approvals, ERP imports, any kind of data analysis like BI. The last 20%, multi-level approvals, API links, payment syncs, reconciliations, etc. is great, but only after you've done the basics. I chose Power Automate and SharePoint because most SMBs already pay for it. The permissions, the security already built in, and the connectors are mature. NA10 and Zapier and other such tools can still do the same logic, but Microsoft 365 reduces the IT friction. Also, this is deterministic automation. Clear steps, auditable. The only AI here is Azure's OCR for reading the text. There's no black box agent. There's no deciding finance steps. If you've not worked in finance, if you've never lived the pain of an accounts payable team constantly keying in data incorrectly or posting things into the wrong place, there's only so far you can go just by prompting and asking to kind of help guide you into how to set this up. I've seen some really good demos on Instagram around how people have set up these automation flows with NA10. And they've done this in a very short period of time with no technical experience or my finance background. Now, this is amazing. This is the first step, probably similar to the example I'm going to show today. But where it's all missing or where it hasn't been taken that I've seen is the following 20%. Now, if you haven't worked in finance and you haven't got that experience working with accounts payable teams, or the pain of things being posted to the wrong place and incorrect errors, you possibly won't know exactly where the pain points are and what really needs to be asked of AI. So you can take its prompts, you can automate things as much as possible. But at the end of the day, you're going to be trying to sell this to finance professionals who understand the pain points. They know what needs to be solved, but you need the experience and the understanding of the business or the problem to be able to convince people to take on your solution. It's one thing to say, here's a solution, but yes, you can prove it to them. Yes, you can show it to them, but you need to get into the door. If you haven't got the experience, you haven't worked with accounts payable, you haven't worked in finance, and you're using systems that are quite new to a lot of people, then that is quite a hard hurdle to overcome. DMing people, using good marketing, can really open the doors for people to try and get that opportunity to sell these products and automations. But one of the things I would recommend is trying to solve some of these with software that people are familiar with, such as Microsoft products. You can do a lot of this without having to reach into other sort of new technologies. And yes, these will start coming in, but it's worth exploring. So the reality is, who can replicate these? Could a non-technical CFO land this? Yes, with a templating partner. Out of the box, you'll hit snags, maybe handling the JSON, waiting on OCR results, mapping numbers, dates properly, etc., etc. And that's why my build focuses on templates. Safe numbers, date mapping, polling pattern, it never hangs, dupes rules, etc. Good sales gets you the meeting, a reliable template gets you the outcome. So I'm going to show you a demo of the first few stages that I've been creating the last couple of days. I'm going to drop a PDF here And a minute later, we're going to get a new list in our SharePoint with all the various information we need: vendor, invoice number, date, net, VAT, gross, currency, and confidence. And then a link to the file with an email to let you know the file's arrived. No typing, simple. So what? These are the benefits before the ERP. Approvals, route by amount, supplier audit comments. The next stage, approvals, routing by amount and supplier audit comments. Then we'll be looking at ERP, exporting the CSV into your ERP. So what next? Next step we're going to be looking at in the coming weeks is the approvals, routing this by the amount, the supplier, putting audit comments in. Next, we'll be looking at how to export into your ERP through a CSV and getting these ERP ready. Next, we're going to be looking at dashboards. So we're going to be feeding this into BI to be able to see spend by vendor, AP aging, and cycle time. Lastly, audit. Because of this route, it means that you've got the PDF, the raw OCR JSON archived, you've got easy traceability, and this makes audit really, really simple. Even before any API work, you've removed the grind, you turn the invoices into data, can easily be traced and retrieved for audit. So what's next in this series? The next step is the dedupe and the validation. We're going to be looking at block bad docs, set confidence thresholds. Next, we're going to be looking at some sort of light approvals method. We're going to be putting in some single step approvals and some escalations. After that, we're going to be looking at the ERP CSV handoff, which will be universal. And then we'll be looking at a specific example of an API to one ERP. Next, we're going to be looking at the CFO dashboard, which will outline the spend, aging, and cycle time. Please reach out if you'd like some help on this, or you'd like me to come and help you with your business, and you're keen to understand how you can improve your accounts payable process and maybe even implement document scanning if you haven't got this already.